All right, let's talk about something we've all done. You get that package, it's not quite right, the color's off, it doesn't fit, so you make a few clicks, print a label, and off it goes. But have you ever stopped to think about what happens next? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the massive, hidden world of online returns.
You know the drill. You drop the box off, and a few days later, a little notification pops up. Refund processed. And for you, that's it. The story's over. But for that actual product, an incredibly complex and kind of wild journey has just begun.
I mean, that package doesn't just magically teleport back onto a warehouse shelf, right? It enters this whole other world of logistics, one that's designed to operate completely in reverse. And that creates a huge set of challenges for pretty much every single company you buy from.
And this entire backward journey, this supply chain doing a U-turn, it actually has a name. It's not just handling returns. It's a whole specialized field that companies spend billions and billions of dollars on trying to get right.
It's called reverse logistics, and it's basically the science of making the supply chain run backward. It covers everything from getting that product from your doorstep back into the company's system to deciding its ultimate fate. And believe me, getting this wrong doesn't just cost a ton of money, it can cost them customers, and it can even be a disaster for the environment.
So why all the fuss about this? I mean, it's just returns, right? Well, a clunky, confusing return process isn't just a minor annoyance anymore. It's a direct threat to a company's relationship with you, their customer, and to their bottom line.
It all really starts with trust. Get this. A staggering 70% of us shoppers check the return policy before we even think about clicking buy. Let that sink in. A good, clear return policy isn't just a nice little perk, it's the price of entry. If you don't have one, that sale probably never even happens.
And then, oh boy, there's the financial risk. In the US alone, fraudulent returns, people gaming the system, cost retailers a mind-blowing $84.9 billion every single year. That's money that just evaporates, all because of weaknesses in the reverse logistics system.
So it's pretty clear this isn't just about moving boxes around. Getting returns right is this incredibly delicate balancing act between three really critical things. You got to keep customers happy, you have to keep the business profitable, and you have to figure out how to deal with the huge environmental footprint of it all.
Okay, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What makes this whole process so darn difficult? Well, we can basically group the biggest problems into three main buckets: the cost, the complexity, and the data, or lack thereof. First up, let's talk about the money. Getting a product to you, that's called forward logistics. And it's a well-oiled machine optimized for efficiency. But getting it back, reverse logistics is, well, it's a chaotic and incredibly expensive maze. And here's what's absolutely wild. A full 60% of the cost of handling a return is just transportation, just moving the box from point A back to point B. That's the lion's share of the expense, and it's all spent before a single person has even opened the package to see if there's anything wrong with it. And the costs just keep piling on from there. That call you make to customer service to ask about your refund, that can easily cost the company $5. And for every $100 of returned stuff, more than $10 is just lost to fraud. It really shows you why efficiency is everything. Just using a specialized return center can slash those processing costs by 20%. So beyond just the cost, there's the sheer physical chaos of it all. Think about it. Shipping 1,000 brand new, identical TVs from a factory is a simple, repeatable process. But handling one single, unpredictable return from a customer, that, my friends, is a logistical nightmare. And this puzzle has three really tough pieces. First, where do you even put all this stuff? Warehouse construction is at a 7-year low, so there's a massive storage crunch. Then, every single mile a return has to travel, it gets more expensive, and the risk of damage goes way up. And finally, there's the actual human labor. Every single item needs to be opened, inspected, and sorted by a person. The third, and maybe the biggest headache, is the lack of information. So many companies are basically flying blind. They're trying to manage this incredibly chaotic process using outdated, manual systems that just can't keep up. It's like trying to navigate a maze in the dark. And this data black hole creates huge, huge problems. It means companies often can't track where your return is in real time. They have a really hard time predicting how many returns they're going to get next month. And maybe most critically, they can't spot patterns like, hey, why is this one specific shirt being returned over and over again for the same reason? It all just gets lost.
So with all these challenges, it sounds kind of hopeless, right? But smart companies are fighting back, and they're not doing it by trying to stop returns altogether, but by building much, much smarter systems to handle them.
The modern approach really boils down to 3 key steps. First, you have to actually see the problem, so you bring in technology for real-time tracking and automation. Second, you standardize everything, creating crystal-clear rules. And third, you stop treating returns like trash and start treating them like data, a goldmine of information that can help you get smarter.
And here's a perfect example of that smart thinking in action. For a really low-cost item, say a $10 phone case, the cost of shipping it back and processing it can actually be more than the item is even worth. So what do nearly 60% of retailers do now? They just say, keep it. They give you a refund and tell you to keep the product, because it's literally cheaper for them than paying to get it back.
And this really gets to the heart of the modern strategy. The goal isn't just to survive the chaos of returns anymore, it's to turn that chaos into an actual competitive advantage. Because a great return system isn't just damage control, it's a seriously powerful business tool.
Ultimately, this is the big shift in thinking. Companies are finally realizing that reverse logistics doesn't have to just be a cost center, a black hole that just drains money and resources. When you manage it smartly, it can actually drive value by boosting customer loyalty, recovering product value, and providing absolutely critical data.
So the next time you tape up a box to send something back, just remember what's really going on. That one simple action kicks off this massive, unseen industrial ballet. A whole system that's wrestling with cost, complexity, and environmental impact on a global scale. And that leaves us with a final question to think about. As free, no questions asked returns become the norm, making our lives as shoppers way more convenient, who is actually bearing the hidden financial and environmental costs of all that convenience? Something to chew on.